Well, hello there, guys. We're going to be playing some English Civil War here, a war without an enemy, and I'm actually going to be taking the Royalists to start out with. Now, this is one of AGEODS' awesome games. This one focusing on the English Civil War. I'm going to be taking the Royalists. Is that surprising? Maybe a little bit. I want to see if the Royalists can beat the Parliamentarians and their Puritan friends. Alright, so here we go, guys. So with growing political tensions between Parliament and our beloved King Charles led us, the Royalists, to an attempt to capture 5 members of the House of Commons last January, resulted in a failure, and the King, fearing for the safety of his family, was forced to leave London. And of course now, we need to hold off the enemy. Let me just do one thing. I do love this music, I truly do, but we must stop the music. Putting an end to the music, guys, I'm sorry. But I want to focus right now. And right now, as King Charles, we've got a lot of things we need to do to bring the country to bear, to essentially trust us. Now, one thing that's scary is if you look at the owner of all regions, nearly every single region is neutral or slightly in support of Parliament or the King. You have to understand that England did not have a standing army at this time, so it's very, very strange for this situation to even occur in the first place. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our decision mode, and we are going to declare a commission. Try and commission some cities to give us some troops. Now, the great thing about the troops from the King is they can move. The trained bands of Parliament, they don't do that. What the trained bands of Parliament do is they basically stay in the area they were recruited in. I know it's ridiculous. It's funny. You could laugh at it almost, but they do that, and essentially from that particular method, they manage to garner some troops that won't actually leave their home counties, but will fight for Parliament. So we're in a somewhat better state here, or I hope we are. Of course, this is all randomized, so we're not necessarily going to commission any troops in this area, but we'd certainly like to try, and of course, we'll gain support in the areas where we can gain support. The whole goal of this game, and of this war, really, is to try and gain as much support as possible, as quickly as possible. So let's end the turn, guys. And I could have actually sent a letter to Queen Henrietta, try to get us some money in the Netherlands to really help our royalist cause. We'll see very soon what happens, but hopefully, good news. Alright, interesting. So King Charles has pretty much taken Leicester. 50% Royalist, 50% Parliament. I mean, he could certainly do better, and right now he can't move. We still have to wait a few turns until our units can actually start moving, and as you can see, not all of our decisions worked. A few did. So for instance, we do have Lindsay's force over here trying to take the city of Hull, and I'm not going to stop them from doing that. In fact, let me try to speed it along, because taking Hull would be a big win. But we still have our declarations in a lot of these cities, so we have to see if they will actually support the King or end up supporting Parliament. But before we do that, I believe we can get a letter off to Queen Henrietta, and this would allow us to get some money in time, and like I said, guys, in time, to be able to hold out the Royalist cause. Okay, so a letter to the Queen. And as you can see, Queen Henrietta Maria left England in February, and she can actually go to the Netherlands and request guns and money, which would greatly help us against the Parliamentarian cause, which many of you know actually won the English Civil War. Right now we have no money at all, 1 piece of gold. We could grab some weapons, 2 engagement points, which brings us 30 war supplies. Those are the only engagement points we have, so I'm actually going to end the turn and keep hoping for the best. Be positive, as they say. Alright, there we go. Now, the King is still stuck, and this can actually take a while. Like, the King can stay stuck for quite a bit, honestly. I think it's 3 turns total, but as you can see, he already has some supporters. He's got Ruthven's force. Now, so far, we're trying to spread the Royalist message across the realm, but you can see right now that there's some white tiles, there's some orange tiles, but in general, the people aren't really 100% certain on who they're going to support. So we'll end the turn one more time. At this point, the King will be able to move. So will his advisors and his generals. And that's when we truly go to war with Parliament, guys. And things could get pretty ugly pretty quickly. Alright, new turn ready. We can now see that King Charles can move. He's got 76, he needs much more than that, so we're going to go ahead and try to merge King Charles and Prince Rupert. Now, the thing about Prince Rupert is he wasn't actually a direct heir to Charles, which is kind of weird. It gets very strange in the royal family, but we're actually going to merge these guys together, and we're also going to merge them with the Duke of Leicester, excuse me, and try to attack this particular area right here with Brooke's army. So we're going to go ahead and move forward. 26 days to get there. Fair enough. Or, you know what we could do? We could ignore his army for now. We could build a supply depot. I think that's what we're going to do. And we could also start taking more land with the units that can move. And one of those units is going to be Ruthven's force. This guy is absolutely going to ally with the king. So I'm going to move him through these villages, and I hope he can take them. And most of the time, these guys are capable of actually getting respect in these areas. Because number one, the people are scared, and number two, the people are ignorant. They don't know who to follow or who to trust. If somebody shows up with armor and with a weapon, you're probably going to trust that person. So we're going to go west here in Wales to take Pembroke. Oh, we might have to wait. All right, let's go to Hereford and then to Gloucester. And you see I'm getting the names right. God bless me. All right, let's end the turn, guys, and hope for the best right here. There could be a battle coming up. Now, in the English Civil War, it really wasn't that common. Well, certainly there were casualties, and I think at the end of the war, 200,000 men died. But a lot of that actually had to do with treatment of wounds after getting a casualty. Because really in the English Civil War, you guys are going to notice very quickly that the battles aren't as huge as you would imagine. Now, we just had a battle with Colonel Ruthven. He lost 256 men, and the enemy lost only 98, so it was a royalist defeat. But we need to have him keep moving. He had a very small force. We probably could have waited a turn and been a bit more patient. But we're trying to turn all of England white. Royalist white, my friends. Alright, let's see. So the king is fine. And Leicester is his. We also have some much-needed reinforcements. I am going to move where Parliament doesn't want me to go. It's going to take me a while to get there, though. That's the problem. But we've got to go somewhere from here. 102. I'd love to have him join up with Byron's force. And we still got these guys, so we're going to move them through the towns that are parliamentarian and try to attack them. Make sure that these people stay in line. It's that simple. We are not parliamentarians. And actually, we can put Colonel Ruthven in charge of a much more secure force. Charge this Parliament Castle, hopefully. Although, unfortunately, it's going to take our king quite a while, as far as I can see, to attack the Greville detachment. That's why I'm worried whether or not he should go west and try to take more towns and areas, or whether he should go south and take on Greville. And I'm thinking south to take on Greville is probably not a good idea, because we've got the Duke of Essex to worry about. Then again, it's going to be 21 days no matter what. Let's go for it. Come on. Don't be a coward, King Charles. We trust in you, sir. Alright, let's end that turn, guys. Alright, enemies arriving in Gloucester, and this is in the far east. Battle of Hull Walls. We did not manage to take it. Small amount of casualties on either side. And of course, Parliament is really getting a lot of support over there in the northeast. Of course, they're near the Scots. What do you expect? He's only at 490, and now the Duke of Essex is there. See, this is what I was worried about, guys. So I'm definitely not staying here. I'll try to move to Ashley de la Zouch, which for me is the strangest bloody name I've ever seen in England, and I've seen a few. So we're going to go to Ashby de la Zouch. We're probably going to have to leave Leicester, but let's take a look and see if we have any reinforcements. Now, the Parliament does get reinforcements, or the Royalists get reinforcements, excuse me, along the way, but it takes time, as you can imagine. So, for instance, we've got Lestrange's force. I think his name is just Lieutenant Strange, but with a name like that, I have to make fun of him a little bit. So we're going to move him here. And I'll actually keep him here, and we will end the turn. Best of luck to our boys. Best of luck to the Royalists. For king and country, boys. For king and country. Alright, nasty loss there at the Battle of Howden. 471 on our side, 307 on the enemy side. But things are getting a little more dangerous now. I mean, now we're really starting to have open war. But Meldrum is doing really well. Pretty even losses there. And like I said, most of the deaths in the English Civil War did not come from combat losses. They came from treatment after the actual combat. And it looks like Lord of Essex has found us. A very bad situation, guys. Now, we did manage to kill more of the General of Essex's men, nearly 2,000, and this guy actually ended up dying of cancer in real life. But we lost 910 of our army of only 5,800. I think we can probably regroup if we can manage to retreat, because we have an army here, a massive army with Ruthven's force. And if he can get here, if the king can get here, in fact, even if the king can get here, we might be just fine. Because at that point, these two forces can join up, and who knows what could happen, boys. We're still going to keep these guys here to try and take that royalist castle. No, wait a minute, we are royalists. Alright, we're going to see if we can synchronize movement. I don't think it's possible, but it's certainly worth it. We don't have any real cash to spend, but we're still going to keep moving our troops through these areas, trying to turn them white, essentially, and make sure that this area is pro-king. And as you can see, we just got a reinforcement, a major reinforcement here from Hopton's army. I told you guys that eventually the royalists do get reinforcements, so we're going to go ahead and move him forward. And I want to see if we can do anything to increase our odds in this particular fight. I don't think so. We can recruit, and recruitment helps, but I think most of the recruits actually stay in their home country. Let's go, guys. Let's hope Ruthven finds the king, and maybe then we have a chance against the Lord of Essex. Alright, so he certainly retreated, not where I wanted him to, but it somehow works. Over here, just a tiny engagement with our forces, and we got absolutely crushed there. Alright, guys, it's time for the new turn. And I'm curious, did King Charles escape? It looks like he did, by the scruff of his neck. We're definitely going to bring some reinforcements to him. It's only going to take about 2 days or 7 days. I want to see if these guys can build a supply depot, and if King Charles can build a supply depot. If not, he's going to have to wait and see and hope that reinforcements arrive. But we'll take a look at the map of England very soon here. We've got Strange's force. He's going to stick around, try to defeat some more of the enemy, but if we just back out right here, we can kind of see what's going on. So, of course, Parliament controls part of the country. We control almost all of Wales, but they certainly control more of the country than we do. I mean, there's no doubt about that, we need to try and take more land, so I'm going to go ahead and keep moving towards Newbury with my units, put it that way. I might even keep trying to take land. Now, the thing is, the people in this land support the Royalists barely, so we need to definitely keep fighting, and I think the only way to take this area is with an assault. Let's go for it, boys. Best of luck to us. Come on, lads, for the king. And there we go. There we go. Lord Strange defeated the garrison. Unfortunately, they still have about 300 men left, but he did an okay job. Sort of gained some respect amongst the peasants that aren't exactly too keen on being part of the king's army. But there are a lot that are, and we have a king of 666. He truly is the devil. Lord of Essex is passing through, and apparently he did not attack us. Thank you, Lord of Essex. Perhaps we should go to combat very, very soon. I'm starting to think we need to retreat to an area where we can retreat to, if that makes sense. And of course it doesn't. Or we can go ahead and try to go to war with these guys. Well, it's up to you guys, of course. I'm not sure if we're going to do a full campaign. If we do, we may start at the beginning. But I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, make sure to hit a like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, you know, as best you can. Share the channel if you can. And also pick up the game if you don't already have it. It's a great game. And let them know Agrippa sent you. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Have a great day.